Hello, my dear Russian learners. Russian teacher Veronika is here, and I am ready for a new Russian lesson. And today we will have a very interesting Russian lesson because we are going to learn Russian through a poem. Before we start, I would love to say that many thanks to everyone who supports my channel because I do not have any income directly from YouTube, so I can make these lessons for you only if you support my channel. Many thanks to all those people who already do that, and many thanks to those people in advance who will support my channel after watching this video. By the way, Boosty, that platform that I use for donations, actually works with PayPal without any problems. And for today's Russian lesson, I chose one of the most interesting for me, at least for me, and one of my favorite poems, and it is written by quite famous, at least in Russia, poet. His name is Innokentий Annenский, and he created his literature works during the famous Silver Age in Russian literature. I would love to read a poem. It is very short, but very philosophical, very beautiful and deep and sophisticated, and I will read in Russian. Here will be somewhere on the screen the parallel translation, and you have a task. You need to listen to the poem. You need to write in comments how you understood the poem. What is it about? And what is the meaning of the poem? And what is the mood of the poem? Is it joyful? Is it light? Is it dark? Is it sad? How you feel about the poem? Very interesting for me because I was talking to my friends, to my family, to my colleagues about this poem, and everyone understands this poem in a different way. So I wonder what will be the majority in the comments, how people understand, I mean foreigners. This is also very interesting because foreign opinion can be a little bit different than opinion of Russian people because we have different background, different culture, and yeah, very interesting. Finally, let's read a poem. Let me take my second phone. So the title of the poem is Среди миров. Среди миров, в мерцании светил одной звезды я повторяю имя. Не потому, чтобы я ее любил, а потому, что мне темно с другими. И если мне сомнение тяжело, я у нее одной ищу ответа, не потому, что с ней светло, а потому, что с ней не надо света. So there are only 8 lines, and this is very short, as I already said, but this is one of the deepest, I think, and the most sophisticated poems that I have ever read, I think. So I'm waiting for your comments, and now let's talk about words. In this poem, I think that almost all, except some of them, almost all of these Russian words are very important, and you can use them in casual everyday speech when you talk to Russian people. So let's start. We have the word, for example, среди. Среди, among. Среди. Next word that is important, it is the word мир. Мир, the world, мир. Next word that is interesting is звезды. Звезды. This word is in genitive case here, Nominative case is звезда. Звезда. It is a star. And here we have an interesting thing. We can discuss famous Russian reduction. So звезды, this year in the first syllable we pronounce as e because it is unstressed. So the second law, as I call it, of Russian reduction means that here in unstressed position you must pronounce as e. That's why we say звезды, not звезды. Next Russian verb is super important in casual speech in Russian, and this is повторять. Повторять. It means to repeat. Повторять, yeah. And by the way, this word повторять is suddenly a cognate to the Russian word вторник. Here you can ask why. Why is вторник, that means Tuesday, is a cognate of повторять, which is to repeat. There is no logic. Actually, there is some Russian logic, and I will explain it right now. So, вторник is the second day of the week, and повторять, it means to repeat, to say something second time. No, at least second, maybe third, fourth, fifth, and so on, yeah, but at least second time. So the correlation is here because of the number 2. And here, if you're a beginner in Russian, you can ask, but 2 in Russian is два. Yes, it is два, but if you are talking about the Russian word second, in Russian it is второй. Второй. So now you can understand how the words вторник, второй, and повторять are corresponded, or how you say it, related to each other. Okay, next, which is interesting, is the Russian noun имя. Имя, it means a name. Yeah, but we use another pattern. For example, in English, you can say, my name is Veronika. This is my name. My name is Veronika. But in Russian, people do not say, Мое имя Veronika. It sounds quite old-fashioned, and I think, yeah, you can find this pattern maybe in some fantasy books when you talk about ancient kings, ancient heroes, and maybe ancient magicians. Yeah, there you can find this pattern, but in normal Russian language, in modern Russian language, we say Меня зовут Veronika. Меня зовут Veronika, yeah? So имя, the word name, we use in Russian, for example, when we sign the documents. There you can see the abbreviation of 3 letters in Russian, F-E-O, FIO. So the first is familia, your last name, имя, your name, and отчество, that famous Russian patronymic that almost nobody has in Western countries, and I think in Asian countries too. By the way, write me in comments if you have a patronymic and where are you from. Very interesting, because I know that patronymics are quite popular in Slavic countries, and I think still in Scandinavian countries. You have something similar to patronymic. Write in comments if you have a patronymic and where you are from. And let's continue. Next word is, of course, you know this word, I think, потому что. Потому что, because, yeah, потому что. We write 2 words, потому, space, что. But we pronounce these 2 words together in Russian like one word. So we say потому что in Russian language. And by the way, the first law of Russian reduction, so you can say why there are written 2 O, потому что. Actually 3 O. But you say потому что. Потому что. What's the problem? Actually, it's not a problem in Russian language at all. And O, unstressed, we must pronounce as A. That's why, no, the stress is on the syllable with U, потому что, right? That's why all these three O are in unstressed position and you must pronounce them as A. Потому что. Let's move on. Next is любил. Любил, quite beautiful word in Russian. So it means to love. And this is in past tense. And we say the infinitive is любить. Любить, to love in Russian. Okay, next word is... I skip some of them that I think are not very important. So if you don't understand any word in this poem, please write me in comments. I will explain kindly. Next word is с другими. С другими, and it means with others. If you want to know the nominative case of this word in Russian language, singular form, and this is другой. Другой. Actually, I don't know the difference in English, but I would translate as other and another. For example, if you say, I don't know, I bought this ring and it is too big, I want another one. Yeah, so you would say я хочу другое. Я хочу другое. Yeah, but actually it is fine. I love this ring. Okay, next word is если. Если. This conjunction is very important and it means if. Okay, next is ищу. Ищу. This is the Russian verb искать, to search, to look for, and ищу, this is quite irregular verb, at least it looks like something irregular, and искать is the infinitive, and if you want to conjugate this verb, we say I look for or I search, я ищу. Я ищу. By the way, I found another verb for my next Russian lesson, because I think that this verb искать is actually worth talking about it. What do you think? Because we use this quite often. You can say I look for a new job. Yeah, я ищу новую работу. So this verb is quite oftenly used in casual speech, right? And this is quite irregular. So what do you think? Should I film a new Russian lesson about the Russian verb искать? Is it interesting for you? Waiting for your comments. And the next word is ответ. Ответ, it means answer or reply. And obviously this is the cognate of the Russian verb отвечать, and its perfective pair ответить. Yeah. Next, of course, you know that ответ, here again Russian reduction works, that O, unstressed, we pronounce as A, ответа, because the stress is where it is on E, ответа. Okay, next is светло, светло, light, yeah, and again Russian reduction, again here, yeah, unstressed, we pronounce as E, светло, светло. By the way, we have a very beautiful name, Svetlana. I think it's quite similar to Italian name Chiara. It means light, bright woman or girl that brings light in life. Yeah, it's very pure, Svetlana. And by the way, I just read an article about the name Svetlana, And it was super big discovery for me, because actually I thought that Svetlana, this is a very old, ancient, traditional Slavic name, but actually it is not. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was invented in 19th century. No, it's not a long time for history actually. Yeah, this was a big discovery for me, because I was really sure that this is ancient Slavic traditional name, but now it was invented like 2 centuries ago. Very interesting for me. Next word is nada. Nada, similar to Spanish nada, but the meaning is absolutely different. So nada in Russian language means need. For example, you can say мне надо купить продукты. By the way, if we talk about Russian pronunciation, I missed a paragraph in this Russian lesson about Russian devoicing. So we have some examples of devoicing in Russian language here. Let's start from the word миров. Миров. So if you see voiced consonant in the end of any Russian word, like here, v is consonant that is voiced in Russian and in any other language, you need to transform it to not voiced consonant. And the pair in this case is f. So v you transform into f. You do not say mirov, you should say mirov. Миров. Next word is повторяю. Повторяю. You do not say повторяю. But why? There is another position. The v sound, the v letter is not in the end of the word. Yeah, but after v goes t, and t is not voiced. So if you have two consonants and one that stands in front is voiced and the next is not voiced, the first again will be not voiced. Повторяю. Okay, next. What do we have here? Stop. Stop. Actually, it is a short form of the Russian word чтобы, and b in the end of the Russian word we should pronounce as p, stop, stop. Next. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So, my dear Russian learners, I hope that this Russian lesson was interesting and useful for you. If so, you already know what you should do. You should hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, write me a comment. I'm waiting for your comments. Also, I'm waiting for your support. And yeah, see you very soon. I upload new Russian lessons each Thursday, 6 p.m. Moscow time. And yeah, this will be our tradition. I will be very happy to see you on my channel each Thursday. And see you very soon. Увидимся скоро. До новых встреч. Пока!